Hello, welcome to Grow and Glow on Franktv, a reality talk show on relationship and leadership. With us today, we have a lovely guest, an outstanding young man, a medical doctor, an author, and an inspirational public speaker. By name, Dr. Ovundah Nyeche. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you very much.
So how are you doing?
Very fine.
How is life generally?
Very fine.
Now, recently you published a book, Sex the Naked Truth. That is, within a year, it's becoming a fast bestseller. Permit me use the word, a fast bestseller. So, can you tell us what motivated you into this work?
Okay, it's important to know that you were part of this.
Seriously?
Yeah. Okay.
Good to know.
That was 2016. You put up a call. You sent me a message on Facebook, telling me to be part of a mind leadership training program. I accepted, and I remember going for that program. And after that program, I was invited again to be a part of their program. And when they invited me the second time, unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond my control, I could not attend. And then I was invited for their World Virginity Day in June 2016. And it's a day that usually they talk about sexual purity. And for that program, I took my time to research, to get things I felt was necessary to talk to these young people. And I put up a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
And you were in that program.
Yes, I recall.
And in that program, after that presentation, it was God showed himself strong. A lot of people committed their life to Christ.
Awesome.
And I also remember that a month later, someone in that program also invited me to their church to do a similar talk to their young people.
Right.
And they were told me to talk to them about using the same slide. And so that was a prompting in my spirit that why not put these thoughts into a book, And I said, okay, let me just try it. And then there was a time when we had a strike in the hospital, about 3-month strike. And I used that period to put a lot of thoughts down. And as God will have it, this book came forth, and it's been amazing. The response has been amazing, and almost everywhere the book has gone, and I've been hearing testimonies of how the book has been a blessing to people's lives.
Great. Doc, on behalf of the management of Franktv, we want to say congratulations for a job well done.
Thank you
now,
so much.
In a world saturated by sex seems to be the sellable commodity right now. For every product, for every advert, this sex driven. What is your message to a generation ridiculed by sex?
Now, the message is that it has to be God's way. We stay in a generation where people want to do things their own way.
Yeah.
But you can't live life on your own terms. Why? Because you always keep on changing the goalposts. I was talking with someone recently, and we talked about the Kardashians. A man has 3 wives, decides to be a woman. And he decides to be a woman.
Okay.
Recently, he decided to marry again. He married another woman. Only for us to find out that the woman he wanted to marry was a man that changed to a woman. So the goalpost always changes. And that is why we need to find a compass that does not change. Now, recently something happened.
So let's hold on.
Yeah.
The key word, we need to find the compass that does not change.
Yeah.
All right.
So recently at home, my wife was operating a washing machine at home, and I discovered that the machine could not work. I just noticed that there was an error message showing, and I did everything to manipulate. She called me to come and fix it. I discovered I couldn't do anything. So I went to the manual, opened the manual, and found out that what that code was saying was just close the door. The door was not properly shut.
Wow.
And immediately I shut the door. The washing machine started working. So we need to feel the pulse of the manufacturer. So to feel the pulse of the manufacturer, I had to go to the manual. To feel the pulse of the manufacturer, of our creator, we need to go to his manual, which is the Bible. So the Bible is our central focus, it's the believer's staff, it's our compass, it's what guides us.
Now, Doc, as practical and as fundamental as I want us to put it, is sex really a bad thing? Because there is this notion, particularly in our side of the world, you don't talk about sex, it's a bedroom talk. If you talk about it, you are wild, you are a spoilt brat. So can you unravel sex? What is this thing about sex?
Okay, that's the same notion I had growing up. When I was growing up, I was asked, how did your parents give birth to you? I said they prayed. I thought that just prayers, And then also, when I was growing up, I was in a church where if you committed fornication, you had to be given a back seat.
Yeah.
A back seat is like you go back, just like a football match. You have a red card and you go and watch in the changing room. So that's what happened. So for us, anytime we saw anything about sex, it was usually that somebody was to be suspended. We found out that the suspension, was supposed to cause godly sorrow, but we found out that people kept coming the same thing almost over and over again. Now, but the reality is this: sex is good. It was sanctioned by God.
Look into the camera and say sex is good.
It was sanctioned by God.
Okay.
Yes, because God created it. In fact, if sex was not good, God wouldn't have made Adam and Eve.
Okay.
And he would have chased them from the garden because they had sex. So it's good. But it has to be in God's term. Remember we talked about the compass. And so what's the compass? The compass says, a man shall leave his father and mother. Not a boy. Not a small boy. A man. A man is someone that is responsible spiritually, economically, mentally, emotionally, and shall cleave to his wife, his own wife, not his crush, not his fiancé.
All right, Doc. Now, medically speaking, according to your profession, what is the advantage and disadvantage, if need be, if there is anything like advantage for engaging in premarital sex in a world that have declassified the word sex?
Now, what is sex? Sex is, and I try to come down, sex is planting seeds. And so the sperm, initially, the real word for sperma, it has to be seed. And the woman's oocyte or her egg is like the soil. So what happens is that when you are having sex, actually, you are sowing seeds. And what happens to seed? When a seed hits a soil and the condition is right, the condition is likely going to germinate.
Yeah.
So the question is, when you're having sex, are you ready to become a father? Are you ready to become a mother? That's one thing we should ask ourselves. Also, the place of sexual transmitted infection. There are too much. If I want to talk about HIV, we'll end up talking for more than 1 hour.
You're right.
But we stay in a generation where, if you catch 10 people, you may not be wrong to say 5 people may be HIV positive. And so one thing about you want to test. But the question is this: you can get a sexual transmitted infection just like that. Also, today I was looking at my book and I saw somewhere I wrote, there is no condom for your heart. You can have a heartbreak. A condom may protect you for some, but can it protect your heart?
Hold on, take it easy there. No condom
for your heart. Yes. So
shoot.
It can. So will a condom protect you from heartbreak? A lot of people say, okay, if you love me, you will sleep with me. Well, supposing you find out that that's the same thing he has told 3 or 10 other people.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things, and then the spiritual implication of that, because sex is not just ordinary.
Yeah.
It's just like I see a gift somebody gives to me, and I remember the reruns. We call it reruns. You look at something and you have a flashback. And so the Bible tells us that when you join to somebody, you become one flesh with the person.
Now, Doc, on this issue of sex, there is this table I want us to shake. There is this celibacy talk by some celebrities, and right now some of them are beginning to share their baby boom or whatever they call it. And there is this followership on them. And we have these young people on the internet following these people. What do you have to say in the context of sex, the naked truth? Okay,
now the reality is that sex was not created by celebrities.
Good.
Now, sex did not originate from love stories or romantic stories or clubs or brutals. Love originated from the Word of God. In fact, in the Word of God, there is a book that is dedicated to romance, love, sex.
Wow.
Songs of Solomon. So God understands us. So the reality is that when we have to go to God's prescription, and God's prescription is a man has to leave his father and mother, then cleave to his wife, and be one flesh. The Bible says it's God's will for us, to live a sexually pure life.
Now, you see, we get to understand this fact that sex is not a product of public opinion.
Yeah.
Sex is not a product of celebrities. Now, Doc, you have a wonderful book here.
Yeah.
Now, in less than 5 seconds, can you tell the world about Sex, the Naked Truth?
Okay. Sex, Naked Truth, of course, has been a product. It was God-breathed. That's the word I would say. And the response has been so amazing.
Yeah.
And it's a book that every young person, every old person needs to get. Endorsed by several people. The foreword for the book was written by the Deputy Governor of Rivers State.
Wow.
Good illustrations inside, easy to read, and it's a book anyone can get. And
how much is the book, and where can we easily get it?
Okay, it's 1,500, and we are on Okada book. We have an online copy for you to read at 1,000. You can also get for the Kindle readers at Amazon bookshops, all the Amazon sites. You can get the book, and also for the hard copy, you can check for it at Perazim Bookshop. Perazim Bookshop is at the Big Treat Mall, and as well as the ABC Terminal and Eliozu. You can also check Right Treasures, or check Grace Onye Bolise on Facebook, or check myself, Ovundah Nyeche, on Facebook. You can also go to my blog, Ovundah Nyeche blog, my page, or visit me at ovundahnyeche.com. Ovundah Nyeche spelled OVUNDAHNYECHE.com to know more about the book. Thank you very much.
Dr. Ovundah, on behalf of Franktv, we want to congratulate you on your new work.
Thank you very
and
much.
want to thank you for coming online.
Thank you very
We
much.
strongly recommend this work.
Thank you.
Once again, this is Grow and Glow on Franktv. Thank you for watching, and keep watching Franktv. God bless you.